Welcome to the Skull Report. We have all your latest wrestling and sports news. We have contests. We have the Dumbass Award. We have Smoking with Shady. We have it all. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the gang of the Skull Report. First, the host with the most, the cigarette smoking son of a gun, who won't back down from a challenge, Jen. Our next co-host, the man, the Packer fan, BG Money. Our next co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, Ralph Swagger. Our next co-host, the man that would do anything for a Klondike bar, and I know this, I have proof of it, Mad Dog Justin Hicks. And last, but certainly not least, the man behind the smoke, Shady. Now let's get the show on the road.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, doing good. Just taking it easy, 1 minute by minute, second by second.
That's all we can do, man. Same here,
Yeah,
doing the same. Doing the same as Ralph, minute by minute. That's all we can do.
yeah.
Right.
So we got a discussion to do. Our late great friend, if you're new to the show here to the Skull Report, our late great Jen Powell, Jen Savage, the creator of the Skull Report, passed away, and we're here and we're gonna keep on pushing for her. We're gonna keep the Skull Report alive, and that's what she wants, and that's what we're gonna do, alongside myself and Ralph, along with Savage Dog, aka Justin Hicks, along with Shady, and everybody else that we invite to come and join us and do your latest news and sports and everything else. Hey Rachel, how you guys
How you doing,
doing?
Rachel?
Yeah, Rachel. We're not changing anything. We're keeping it the same. Um, that is true. We do miss our friend dearly.
Yes.
You guys want to add on?
Well, yeah. I'm glad we kept. I'm glad we kept the intro. I at one point I thought about just naming it the 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 Jim. I threw a blank real quick. The Jim Powell Skull Report, but just leaving the Skull Report is just fine. I mean, this is we already keeping the legacy going by keeping the show going, and I know it might have been kind of hard and like trying to make changes, but we all decided what was best. We all agreed upon. So yeah, I miss Jen. I mean, she basically said, looked at me as an older brother. I never knew that, and it touched me. So the best thing I could do is just keep this, help keep this show going on with you guys, and try to make it bigger and better.
Yeah, man. Am I echoing? You guys hear me? All
Yeah, we hear you fine.
okay.
No echo.
Jen was one of the first people when I first got into betting, SWA, and that befriended me and talked, for the first couple months nightly. It was 2-3 hour conversations. Got to know her and Christy. And the news was devastating, obviously, and still is. And there's been a lot of reflection. But she brought the Skull Report back, and one of her first actions was to bring me and Ralph on, and then as soon as BG came, it was BG, and it just grew. It just kept growing, and the Shady, and she had visions for this thing. She had a vision for this, and I hope we can make her proud. Like Ralph said, make it bigger and better. Just keep on. We love you. We know you're in a better place. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. I read that. It's in Scripture. So, and no, I feel Chin's in a better place. Not sick anymore. But we're gonna miss her, and we're gonna carry on.
Right. Definitely.
Yep. That's about all I got. We love you, Jen.
Love you, baby.
You probably watch.
Yes.
Yes.
You probably watch it and either saying first, you probably saying that sweet, and then you probably getting on us about something else if we ain't done something.
Yeah.
Right.
We trying.
Yeah, it's day by day by day by day. So.
I mean, at the end of the last pay-per-view when they ended the show with Jen talking about this was the quickest that they ever recorded a match with no second takes. I mean, I was there. I was part of it. So, and it was just it was great. It was good to do that with her. So. I'm glad I was able to share that and do that with her, and I mean I'm glad that like I said, she came. Like I said, she asked me if I wanted to come on here as a guest, and I did. I liked it, I ain't mind doing it. Came back for a second week, third week, and they say no, boom, here I am, one of the regulars.
Absolutely, Rachel. We never take anything for granted.
Yeah, believe me, you can't take anything for granted because you never know what life throws at you. You really don't. You really, really don't.
That's something I'm learning after everything, Rachel. Like a lot of reflection because I admit that, and I tell everybody, Jen, we talked on a Saturday, and the next Saturday she was in the hospital, but it was just like talking again, like old times. And my grandmother had passed in July, and I was taking some hits. And Jen offered to pray. She's in like a women's prayer group, and she had offered her condolence. She was always checking in on my grandma. I mean, she was fighting a losing battle, unfortunately, but she kept going as long as she could, much like Jen. And I don't know, she was a bright spot. And Jen, just encouraging words. So, man, that's all I'll say about that. I'm grateful to have her as a friend.
Yeah. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunity of knowing her and being her friend as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm grateful that I got to know Jen, and the time I got to know her. She's always there for everybody. You needed to talk. She came and talked, and she goes, "You need anything? Just shoot me a message, text me, give me a call. I'll answer." That's the type of person Jen was. I like to, make a special announcement that in the upcoming weeks here, when we get the graphics all sorted out and taken care of, we are bringing a Jen Powell / Jen Savage Award of the week, of the month, of the year. We're still working out the details. So when we get that sorted out, you guys will be seeing that. And yeah, we're just gonna keep pushing and do big things. Keep it going. We're gonna keep grinding like she wants us to, and not let it go downhill. We're just gonna keep moving up the mountaintop until we're sitting comfortably up there and nobody can touch us.
Correct. You're right about that.
And brother. Yeah, man. Can't agree more. We may have some special guests tonight. I don't know yet, but Ralph, I guess BG, did you want to kick things off with NASCAR?
Sure
Yeah,
thing.
we can. But before we do the NASCAR report, I have breaking news. In the much battlefield return in Foxborough, Massachusetts, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went down and kicked the field goal to where now going to the half. It is the New England Patriots 7, Tampa Bay 6.
By the way, Ralph, not to cut you off, Tom Brady became the all-time passing yards leader tonight in Foxborough. How crazy is that?
Hey, I mean, you know, when you Tom Brady, I mean, time he comes back to New England, everything just go his way. I'm pretty sure they probably didn't stop the game because I heard they wasn't gonna stop the game. They
No.
would acknowledge it. They would probably let everybody clap, be like, hey, he did it. Okay, no problem. Now, now one thing I'm gonna lead this off with something that Jen always liked. She always loved this graphic when I talked about NASCAR, and I always try to get her to show different pictures. She always loved this.
Yeah,
She loved that design. Kevin Harvick's number 4.
Yeah, she was awesome. And
Anytime I say something about Kevin Harvick, she clicked on it real quick. So basically, until the end of the season, anytime I do NASCAR news, I'm flashing that first. So, we got a lot of stuff to go through. I'm gonna try to go through as quick as I can because during this time period, a lot of races went on in different series. Sometimes 2, 3, it didn't matter. But we're gonna start off with IndyCar. That's the one that we really didn't talk about that much. They had 2 races. In fact, the last 2 races of the season. On the 19th of September, they raced at Laguna Seca, and their season finale was September 26th at Long Beach. Colton Herta won both races. However, the 2021 NTT IndyCar Series champion is Alex Palou. He raced for Chip Ganassi Racing. He had 3 wins this season, 1 pole, and he racked up 549 points in their system. Now, former 7-time NASCAR Cup champion Jimmy Johnson, this was his first season in IndyCar. He finished number 26 in the points. He didn't have no wins. He had no pole positions, and he had only 108 points. So the IndyCar season is over. Probably one thing from the IndyCar City season is Roman Grosjean. If you remember him from the Drive to Survive series on Netflix for Formula One, he's moving over to Chip Ganassi Racing next year. So it's possible that he may end up winning a race or 2. You never know. Speaking of Formula One, they only ran 1 race during this time period, and that was on September 26th. September 26th, it was the VTP Russian Grand Prix, in which Lewis Hamilton won. He didn't win though. He wasn't leading the whole way, but he won. Max Verstappen, who was on a grid penalty. Yeah. This said Brandon. This said Jim Powell's live. I had to get on here, make sure I tripped the RFP. Well, Brandon. I mean, it's still go. I guess when it goes out, it goes out on her page. So, she's and they're not tripping. We still doing the skull report. But it just like I said, when we get things straightened out, if you see Jen's name, Don't I don't want y'all thinking that she's still broadcasting for heaven and stuff. We're just doing this in her name.
Well, in kind of a way, she still is broadcasting with us live from heaven. So she's with us down here doing the show. She wants to call us a dumbass for trying to get off subject or something, you know.
Uh,
That's true. That's true as well.
we got to throw a shout out to the Penny Dropper, Brandon Randall. I love you, brother, and thanks for watching, man. Even if it was come and check.
I mean, like I said, we glad we glad you dropped in the least listen for half a minute, as long as you can. So, but to get back to the Formula One race, Lewis Hamilton he won the race. Max Verstappen finished second. Carlos Sainz finished third. It did start raining, and it helped out Hamilton in getting the victory, which is his 100th Formula One victory. He is the all-time leader in race wins, and every time he wins a race after that, it's just gonna be another record made. So, but as far as him winning a record 8th championship, his director, the team director Toto Wolff says DNFs are a no go, meaning that he cannot, in order to win an 8th championship this year, he cannot he cannot finish out the points. He gotta finish in the points every chance he get. And their next race will be October 8th to 10th in Turkey, the Rolex Turkish Grand Prix. Oh, TJ Walker. What's up, Thomas? What's up, buddy?
Thomas, we got some AEW news if you want to hop on. I mean, later.
Yeah. Now, we're going to continue with the Arkham Menard series, which they had a race on the 16th of September, which was the Bush Means 200, and they also had a race yesterday, the Sioux Chief Power Pex 200. They both was won by the same person, which is Ty Gibbs. And their next race will be their season finale, October 23rd, which is the Reese's 150, and that'll be held at Kansas Speedway. Moving on to NASCAR, and the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series at Bristol, basically University of Northern Ohio 200 was won by Chandler Smith, which was his first win, and this was the final race of the final race of the first round of the playoffs, advancing to the round of 8. It's Chandler Smith, Zane Smith, Ben Rose, John Hunter Nemechek, Matt Crafton, Stuart Friesen, and Carson Hocevar. And then after that, the next race they had after that was the Victoria's Boys Foundation 200, which Christian Eckes won. I'm getting ready for overnight shipper. Overnight. That's crazy. Yeah. Oh, those overnight shifts. You never know who you meet overnight or talk to or who come into the store. Just got to kind of like be on your guard most of the time. And at Talladega this weekend, the Chevrolet Silverado 250 was won by Tate Fogelman. So that's all for the Camping World Truck Series. Now to the Xfinity. Let's see. Now we got Rachel saying, got some exciting news next month. They're gonna be a wrestler Comic-Con. You get to meet Lex Luger, Coco Beware, Billy Gunn, bunch of other wrestlers. Oh, that's gonna be great for your son and for you to go see Luger, Coco, and Billy Gunn. I mean, and whoever else might be there. I mean, that is great. I mean, I give it to y'all. I mean, it's like up east, up in the northeast. It's like and also with you, BG. Y'all get a lot of Comic Cons to where y'all get a chance to see these wrestlers.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't. I mean, not saying nothing wrong with Houston, but they don't come down. They don't come down here too often. So I don't know. Maybe Houston's not a hotbed like it used to be or once was. But hey, I know if I get a chance if I find out about one coming to Houston or somewhere near, and I can go, I'm going to go to it. So continuing on with the Xfinity series, the final series, the regular series finale was the Food City 300 at Bristol, and AJ Allmendinger won. He is the Xfinity regular season champion, and their trail driver playoff field was set with AJ Allmendinger, Austin Cindric, Justin Allgaier, Noah Gragson, Justin Haley, Daniel Hemrick, Jeb and Harrison Burton, their cousins, Myatt Snyder, rather, Brandon Jones, Jeremy Clements, and Riley Herbst. And after that, they raced in Vegas with all school uniforms 302, won by Josh Berry. And yesterday they ran the Sparks 300, which was won by a first-time winner, Brandon Brown. And unfortunately, the race ended due to darkness. So they weren't able to get the last 10, 12 laps in because probably had too many crashes. They probably had too many crashes, and it took, the latest wreck was going to take too long to clean up, and they would have finished the race under darkness. And unfortunately, Talladega Speedway does not have lights, so they it's always under. They had to call it because of darkness. And now for the NASCAR Cup Series, once again going back to Bristol. Kyle Larson won the Bass Pro Shop Night race in Bristol. This was the final race of the round of 16 for the NASCAR Cup Series that they playoff. Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott, they got into it a little bit. They talked afterwards. Harvick saying it's like talking to Chase Elliott like talking to a little kid. But hey, it's Bristol, baby. Whenever when that short race makes short tempers. There are a lot of tempers flare up. Now, Eric Almirola, Tyler Reddick, Kurt Busch, and Michael McDowell was eliminated from the playoffs. And the ones who advanced were Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Alex Bowman, all who raced for Hendrick, for Boss Hendrick Motorsports. Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell, all in their race with Joe Gills Racing. Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, all them race for Penske. And the lone person that does not race with either one of them, Kevin Harvick, who races for Stewart House, for Stewart House.
Tony Stewart, baby. Yeah, Jen's guy, actually, Kevin Harvick.
Yeah.
So what a man, I had not realized that until you mentioned it, Ralph. Everybody's kind of teammates.
Yeah, they are. Oh, Rachel just got the tickets. That's good. That's great. I mean, Rachel, when you do go, send us pictures. Send us pictures so we can post them. Maybe we can post them here on the Score Report or on our Score Report site. Just something to where we can share with everybody out here. The finish, the South Point. It was in Vegas. South for the first race of the round of 12, which was the South Point 400. Denny Hamlin won, and today would have been the Yellowwood 500, but due to rain, they postponed the race till tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central. So basically, that's it for the racing report. Well, I'd like to Skull Report. I'd like to congratulate Alex Palou for winning the IndyCar Championship, and the next championship that will be ending soon will be the ARCA Menard Series. That, like I say, they have one more race to go in Kansas. Formula One will not end until December, and NASCAR won't end until November. So we still got some racing left to go. Now there is some silly season stuff that is going on, but I didn't catch it all. So, and also a schedule release. So within the coming weeks or so, while all the races come to an end, I'll try to go ahead and drop a little bit of silly season, drop a little bit of the schedule for IndyCar, Formula One, and NASCAR. So, and with that, the jacks off. They done jack the car down. I'm ready to go, and I'm taking off. And shit, I got busted too fast. Exiting pit road, I gotta do a pass through poll.
Ralph.
Back to you, BG.
Well, thank you for that wonderful NASCAR report. It's always good to get the latest NASCAR report here live on the Score Report. Rachel, yes, like Ralph said, please take pictures, send them to us. We'll put them on Score Report Live right here to share with people. We'll put it on the Score Report page. They can see them there. It would be fantastic to see pictures. Just send them in. We'll show some love. You know, that's what we're here for. All right, so Justin.
Yeah, man.
You know what time it is?
Uh-oh. Ring that bell. Is that what we're doing?
We're gonna ring the bell.
Uh-oh. We got a... There we go, baby. There we go. Let's go 12. Now, latest news, and I would be remiss if I hadn't brought this up. Anthony Joshua, the former world heavyweight champion, not undisputed, but pretty close as you can get, loses to the Ukrainian Alexander Usyk in a outstanding boxing clinic that Usyk does. That is Joshua's second fight.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so technical issues on his end.
Well, it's like somebody got knocked out.
Well, Ralph started talking. Ralph, he started talking, and here comes Mike Tyson. Bing! Oh man, not again.
And the thing about, I was going to ask him about the Wilder.
I hit a button. My bad.
The Wilder Fury fight. Wilder Fury 3.
Well, that's what this was leading it. That's what that was going to lead into, Ralph. Usyk gets the upset. Not really an upset. I'm not a huge fan of Anthony Joshua. It was believed that if Joshua had won, the winner would get Fury Wilder, whoever gets that one, because this is Fury Wilder 3 happening this Saturday. But now IBF, WBO, and WBA champion in Alexander Usyk. We'll see who his next opponent is. I think Joe Joyce wants him. Nice little heavyweight bout. But this Saturday, October 9th, Ralph just mentioned it, we have Deontay Wilder and all of his fancy gear. He had so many complaints. The gloves were too heavy. That was a KO. I popped up two knockdown rule is in effect, Rachel.
Got the standing 8 count.
What did we say about this?
Oh. Well, we didn't say it before, but let's go ahead and do it now. I hate to interrupt you.
No. But you're fine.
But before leaving a comment, please grant StreamYard permission to use to see your name at StreamYard.com/Facebook, because although we love to hear your comments, we just don't want you to be that Facebook user. We don't want we want to see a name and a face behind the comment, not just Facebook.
That's right. Yeah, we like to get intimate with our fans, I think. Oh, it's Studley. Okay.
Oh, Studley, man. How's it going?
What's up, man?
Hey, what's going
on? This weekend though, Vegas, Fury Wilder 3. I'm amped up. I think you have to say Fury going into this. He put on a show in the second match, KOing Wilder. That had not been done. But both guys do have a draw. I apologize for the burp. I've had 2 root beers.
Well, see, that's what happened to Tyson Fury when he got knocked out by Wilder.
Yeah, exactly. Wilder, yeah.
Now, the thing about it is, Dave, I hate to interrupt, but is it? They said it's for like the linear war heavyweight
This is
champion.
the
I'm
lineal
not.
champion. The
So
Ring
it's
magazine recognizes this as the heavyweight champion. So Usyk is holding 3 heavyweight belts, but he doesn't have he doesn't have the WBC or the lineal championship, which is huge.
okay. Just because, like, I mean, I really never heard of the linear championship until this Fury Wilder thing was going on. I knew about WBA. I know about WBC. I know
Yeah,
about IBF. You know, IBF. I
IBF,
mean,
very
just
cool.
just all these boxing federations just come up with stuff. So I'm
Yeah,
sitting there like,
Yeah.
I mean, how are you, basically how I mean, basically how are they trying? How are they gonna have a definite, undisputed champion when you got five boxing councils and about 5 boxing councils and a magazine having
yeah.
titles. I mean that's just that's just is more muddled than wrestling organizations. It's more muddled
Right.
than MMA. I mean, at least with MMA, we know you got UFC, you got Bellator, and then you got other places. But you
And your
know,
best is going to fight your best without the politics involved.
Hmm.
right? It just
What's
We're going
up, Diamond Dave? How's it going? Sorry for interrupting you
Ralph's
guys.
arch.
Well, it's also like UFC's got the BMF championship. The I guess we call it the baddest
the bad,
MFN
bad,
champion.
baddest motherfucker.
The
You know.
baddest mother jammer,
Well,
Sorry, there might be
that
children
oh,
watching. You gotta keep it
well,
PG sometimes.
Yeah,
well,
it's
that I'm not. That was just easy. That's easy, because that's the only quote unquote outside belt that the UFC
Hmm.
kind of recognized. But it's
yeah.
just
But
all this.
didn't Dwayne introduce that championship into
He
the
did.
UFC?
He
Yeah,
did.
I mean, well, no, I mean they had it. I mean I think the Diaz brothers had that belt, and then Masvidal beat Nate. Was it
Nate.
Nate?
I
Nate
think.
beat Nate.
Yeah,
I believe it was Nate Diaz. Yeah.
Yeah.
because Nick was on suspension.
Oh, that's right.
Hmm.
Nick just fought this a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and lost.
Nick fought last week. So
The
uh,
lineal heavyweight championship goes back to like the 1800s. So Fury has actually held this since he beat the Russian uh, Klitschko
So
back in
you're
about
telling
2000.
me that a millennial championship goes all the way back to the 1800s, and we're just now
Oh,
hearing about it?
well, I mean, boxing fans keep up with it. It's more so for the heavyweight championship, but it's in every division, every weight class. But my money is about this fight. I think Fury, he showed it the second time out. I'm a Wilder fan, but I think Fury's just too much, and I want Usyk and Fury to happen.
yeah, Klitschko.
Yeah, yeah, I thought of his name right there at the end, Studley.
Yeah, well, let's just put it this way. We know how to say it. We just don't know how to spell it.
Yeah, well,
Right.
I remember that was in like 2014, I think. I don't know.
And then that's the thing about it. Which Klitschko brother had it? Because you had two of them fighting.
Vladimir.
No, Vladimir, not the
Yeah.
other. Not
Not Vitaly.
Not
Vitaly.
Vitaly.
Not Vitaly. But yeah, we're gonna have some nice little fights coming up soon. Sorry, I had to take myself off for a moment. Canelo versus Plant will be the next big fight for the 170, the 175 weight class. Is for Canelo to unify, and I, for one, am very excited. I hope Caleb Plant wins, but he's been very cocky lately, so we shall see what happens. I'll get more into that because that'll be about November the 11th.
So I mean, boxing. I don't. I just when I look at boxing, if the rise of UFC kind of coincide with the drop in boxing. I'm not gonna lie to
It
you.
has.
You know, when Lennox Lewis was fighting, I didn't particularly like Lennox, but then I have to agree with him. He was only fighting the people that were in front of him, and they really wasn't giving him any competition. I mean, Tyson was too old. I mean, Rockman, got him on a good night, and then he got the title back. I got I got mad when he was fighting one of the Klitschko brothers, and he was winning, and they they stopped the fight, and they gave the fight to Lennox, and I just said, I quit. I quit watching. I don't care about the heavyweight division no more. And also with the fall of the top American heavyweight, then there you go. You know, when you don't have an American heavyweight, people still watch boxing. Of course,
Yeah,
they'll.
we lose that. It's almost like soccer. Americans are only interested when the Americans are interested, you know.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
true.
true.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
As I said, I'm a Wilder fan, but I will be rooting for Fury because of his mechanics.
yeah. I
Right.
mean, it's just so like I said, it's just so muddled. And if it's just that right now, I'm being hell. I'm like I say, ever since COVID, the one sport I've really been watching a little bit more of has been UFC because UFC was the one every week fight night, fight night, fight night. Every week they fight night. They're doing something fight night. I mean, I might not watch a pay per view, but I fight night. I'm watching the fight nights all the time. And
Fight
now,
Island is also very big. Fight Island that
and,
Dana came out with. So,
yeah,
yeah, you're
yeah, now
right.
and every Tuesday now I watch Dana White's Contender Series, in which he giving out contracts. He giving out UFC contracts. I mean, he'll they do about 5 fights. He goes to the back. The winners come out, and he sit there and he go through. He'll sit there and say, "Hey, this guy impressed me. He gets a contract. This guy won, but he didn't impress me. He don't get a contract." I mean, this past week, Dana White five people won, but he only gave out 3 contracts. I mean, a week ago, 5 people won, and one person didn't get a contract. The week before that, everybody got a contract. So
It
you
was
know,
like
I mean,
Oprah. It was like Oprah.
you can go on the Ultimate Fighter and get eliminated, or you just go straight to you just go straight to the straight to the Contender Series. And if you win, you got to win big. You got to impress them. I mean,
I will say Dana's been great with his marketing like that because boxing did try it a few years back. It wasn't as successful. Sugar Ray Leonard was a host of the show. I believe it was the Contender also, or something like that, something of that nature.
Since since we're talking about boxing, there is one thing that's been sitting there on the mind, and we all know that the Paul brothers has to stick their nose in everything. Let's Tyrone and Jake Paul. That
I mean,
fight.
Jake is more skilled. Tyron Woodley was a somewhat of a better strike. I mean, he was better than Ben Askren. Ben was a straight up wrestler, but Jake Paul is very. He had. I did want to speak on this also. I'm glad you brought it up, BG. He has his own promotion, MVP Promotions, um, and Amanda Serrano, one of the most decorated women's boxers of the last several years, actually just signed here recently. So Jake Paul's taken this game a lot more serious than I gave him credit for, unfortunately. But it's also drawing eyes to the sport, which is a good thing. It can never be a bad thing. I mean, what's that old saying, Ralph? Any publicity is good publicity. No such thing as
yeah,
bad publicity. So
Well, with Jake Paul, he tried to hype his brother up when his brother fought Mayweather by
yeah,
snatching his hat off his head and getting getting a tattoo say I got your hat.
Oh,
Like,
I did not know he got a tattoo. I
yeah,
don't keep Jake on his. I know he's crazy. He's a big Instagrammer. But if you go inside the mind of Jake Paul, they have taken this boxing thing more serious than I was giving them credit for at first. They not speaking of trainer switches, they don't have the Reynosos, who is Canelo's, but they do have someone who worked with Ryan Garcia. And Ryan Garcia is actually a friend of the Paul brothers, Instagram and Twitter and all this following stuff they have nowadays. So, I mean, I don't know. Who's going to fight next? The lunch lady from Pineville Middle School? I don't know. I ain't making fun of Tyron Woodley or anything because that was a better match. But Jake Paul has taken his boxing career, quote unquote career, seriously, and I think Manny Serrano signing is huge.
See,
in the landscape.
I don't hate on Jake Paul or the Paul brothers, knowing that, you know, they once was big YouTubers and now they're taking boxing seriously. What's next? Jake Paul, calling out like Nick Diaz or Masvidal or
That's the thing. I want to see
Conor McGregor type guys like that.
I want to see him fight an actual striker. Does that make sense? Not a kickboxer, not a UFC,
definitely.
not an MMA guy, an actual striker. There's several guys out there that want that opportunity, that clout.
Didn't Jake once upon a time call out the Iron Man Mike Tyson?
Maybe, possibly, potentially, but he would get killed still.
I mean, it's because eventually, let's face it. I mean, the guys that they've been fighting, and they one thing that they got a box, so they gonna fight guys where they know how to fight, but they don't know how to box. That's what gets them when they get somebody in there that know how to box, or they get somebody that's he's older, so he might can't move around as much like he used to. There's always got to be some type of setback to where it's in their favor. I mean, hell, if you're really that good, hell, fight somebody your own age.
It's like Canelo Alvarez, or it's like Canelo, and I'm not throwing shade at Canelo, but asking for like an 18-foot ring, like. If you're the best in the world, go prove it.
Yeah, that's just the thing about me. Like, it's always gonna be somebody with it, but it's gonna have someone gonna have a certain, quote unquote shortcoming to where it'll be in their
leverage, like you said. Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I think if this was 5 years ago, Tyron Woodley, it would have been a different story. Jake wouldn't be snatching hats or calling his mama names or anything like that.
No, it wouldn't.
What you did.
No, it wouldn't be like that. And also eventually, you probably one of those guys would have caught them on the street.
Oh, most definitely.
Would have caught them on the street.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
I definitely want to see Jake Paul fight somebody his age that has like more boxing experience.
Yeah, there's a sweet science to it, man. I mean, Usyk proved that over Joshua. Joshua's first loss to Andy Ruiz, he got knocked in the head, concussed, knocked him off his balance, his game, his equilibrium was all screwed up. But, I mean, this was a pinpoint boxing match that the Ukrainian set aside. And that's why he won. I mean, you do things to score points in these rounds and do things of that nature. There's a sweet science. And, no, you're right. I would actually pay if they would. Like, I'll name a guy right now. He's a wrestler or a wrestling fan. His name is Blair the Flair Cobb. I would love to see them give him a chance to come up and fight Jake Paul.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't know. I think one of them said something about wanting to fight Daniel Cormier. Okay. But see, they know Cormier's a wrestler.
Another.
Cormier, that's Cormier's strong suit right there as a wrestler, not a fighter, not a boxer. You know, I
You're
mean,
right.
Cormier might say yeah to it, but he already know. He already know he going in. It's like he's setting himself to fail.
And they,
Saying yes is setting himself up to fail. He might get some money out of it, but he's gonna be out of his element. He just he can't use his wrestling skills. He can't use his MMA skills. He can only use what little boxing skills he got.
now, Ralph, quick question: do you you're talking about Wilder Fury? Who's your pick for that one? I'm going Fury to end it once and for all. But who do you have? Not hating on Wilder. I like Wilder. I just think he had way too many excuses. I mean, we'll see Saturday. That's all I have to say.
That's the thing about it. I mean, I would want Wilder to win. I would like for someone to, the American to have the title.
Yeah, no, totally agree.
But um, this is one of these fights to where I'm like, I don't know because there haven't been that much hype to it. There have not been a lot of hype to it.
Not for this. I blame COVID. I blame COVID, and the same thing with Canelo, Caleb Plant. COVID really hit the sport harder than it has in a while. And I mean, I got the Ring magazine for a year for $20, not $20 a month, but $20 when it's usually a $60-$70 subscription.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I have a year's worth of Ring magazine now to read, which I love and probably will show. I'm waiting to see what's happening with this COVID and the fighting scenarios and all this. But I mean, I agree. I picked Wilder last time. There hasn't been a lot of hype. It's honestly hard for me to hype it up. I'm going to look at the card one more time because I didn't get a chance to beforehand, the undercard, co-main event, things of that nature. But it's hard to get excited after I picked Wilder last time, and he lets me down by like round, I think 7 round knockout. But yeah, it would be great to have the American and then challenge Usyk, but we'll see. I think Usyk has some mandatories. Boxing, hopefully, is getting fun again. We got Teofimo Lopez, one of my favorites, taking on George Kambosos very soon. It'll be next month, but we'll get into that on future Skull Reports. But yeah, we got a nice little ending to the year, but as Ralph said, there's not a huge amount of hype, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. So I really can't say, who gonna win on that.
Yeah,
it's just one of those. I'll just wait and see.
It could come down to a split decision.
It could. It could even
at
be
the end of it.
If we even get a draw like the first time, I don't want to see this a fourth time. I'm sorry.
Like you said, with COVID hitting sports so hard, we don't want to see a fourth fight. We wanted to see it end right here. If it goes split decision and Wilder gets it, or a split decision where, Fury gets it, it should be done right there. No rematches. Just be done there, move on to the next guy, and keep going.
I want to say in the clause there is no rematch clause, but I could be wrong.
Well, no one don't know it, so I mean, maybe somebody will leak it out to the press. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, that's what actually got Vasily Lomachenko, who lost to Teofimo Lopez. That wasn't cockiness. He wanted the fight. He didn't put a rematch clause in, lost his belt. Now he can't get that fight back. So it's a tricky sport, man. There's a lot of political BS, but that's kind of why I like it at the same time. It's a little different.
Yeah, it is. Definitely.
Again, the sanctioning bodies and stuff, like Ralph mentioned earlier, there's probably, good Lord, there's a 5th and a 6th and diamond champions and platinum champions.
Right.
BG Money's probably a boxing champion. Ralph, you're Houston's baddest, mother lover, and I'm down here I'm down here living.
That could be true. That could be true. Baseball season is officially ended today. Most teams moving on. Some teams are going home. And I have this little bracket up since it is playoff baseball. I know we didn't talk about a lot of baseball throughout this baseball season, but I do want to pull this up because, Ralph, you guys are in postseason, my friend.
Yep, the American League West winning Houston Astros. All they had to do was win one game, in which they won last night. I don't know if they won today. I know they were leading at one point. All they had to do was win one game. They won last night, which gave them the second best record in the American League, which means when they go up against the Chicago White Sox in the ALDS, they would have the home field advantage.
Now, unfortunately, that we don't see no Cubs, so that's a good thing. But
we also
no offense out there with the Cub fans. No offense, but
down for a while. My Red, the Pirates decimated us, and your Redbirds went on a 17-game win streak.
17 consecutive wins for a history.
We had 8 of 9 losses or something like that against the Pirates.
Yeah, the Pirates was one of the worst teams in Central this year. I'm gonna put this back up there. Postseason looks fantastic to me. Especially you got Boston New York rivalry. That's gonna be a good one game series right there.
And it's a one-off. I'm very excited about that. Yes.
And then Tampa is sitting right there.
Yeah, Tampa's no joke. They
they have the number 1 farm system in baseball, also, which is scary. Just think of that. We also have the Giants, who won the West, which, oh my God.
They're sitting there waiting for either my St. Louis Cardinals or the LA Dodgers. But rumors has it that what I'm hearing, the game between us and the Dodgers is going to be an Adam Wainwright versus Max Scherzer showdown. That's Wainwright, what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think Wainwright's been pinned in. And Kershaw out for good potentially. I don't know anything about Kershaw.
I think Kershaw was out for the whole season due to an injury.
They said he won't return for the playoffs if they advance. But this is the thing about it. The Los Angeles Dodgers, 105, 106 wins. But in order to continue the playoffs, they got to do it one game. I mean, St. Louis can that one game.
See, now, not knocking any other Major League Baseball team out there, but we do have 3 people on our teams with over 30-plus home runs for this season. Arenado, Goldschmidt, and O'Neill all joined that club with Albert Pujols, Scott Rowland, and Jimmy Edmonds back in 2004.
Right. And then Max Muncy got hurt. I think he might not make it to the playoffs. But he's not going to be. Well, at least he may not. He's not going to be in the wild card game. But the biggest
there's a lot of injuries with the Dodgers right now.
A lot, yes, and they're able to overcome them.
Yeah.
But the biggest disappointment has been San Diego.
Yes, agreed.
They came out. They came on last year and like gangbusters. They came up short. They went and spent money to be like they we gonna beat up Big Brother. We coming after Big Brother. And in fact, they were on. They could have got Max Scherzer, but
They
what
they
the
tried, didn't
Nationals wanted to get, yeah, but what the Nationals wanted, they didn't want to give up. They wanted a little bit more out the farm system. They didn't want to give that farm the players out the farm system up. Meanwhile, Los Angeles not only get Scherzer, but they also got another guy. To where if they second baseman decide to leave, their starting second baseman decide to leave. Okay, that's fine. He can go. We got this guy right here.
Yeah,
Trey Turner, one
it's
of the
like
best game.
this year was biggest for baseball with the getting down to the wire, the trade deadline. We wasn't expecting to get John Lester at all for our bullpen. We wasn't expecting to get Arenado from the Rockies. And he's not opting out of his contract. He's coming back home to the Cardinals. He's staying with us. Yachty and Wayno is coming back for one more year.
Yeah, I did see that about
So
Wainwright.
that's big for us. We have the material to go further than what we are right now. Because as you look at it, anything can happen in any sport. Nothing's promised. I think back in June, we was only 1% chance of making postseason until we got all the way down to the wire. Coming to August, we was 7.9% to make the playoffs, and then we went on a tear. 17 consecutive wins with a 99.9% chance of making postseason. And when we clutched that second wildcard spot, man, it's feeling like a 2011 season for us.
It looks like it. I mean, my Reds held on to that. They battled with the Padres, as Ralph mentioned. I just know it's going to be a fun postseason. I've said
You know,
Yankees.
I knew Houston was getting back in there. There's no
Oh,
way a Texas team was not going to make postseason. I knew the Rangers wasn't going to, but I knew Houston was going to.
yeah, no, they got too many bats.
Yeah, I mean, Oakland at the beginning of the year. I mean, Oakland was like they was going to run away, and
Right, yeah.
they ran out of steam. Hell, even Seattle called them.
Yeah, yeah, they were in it until today, I believe, right?
No, they was eliminated. I think they was eliminated Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, they was eliminated Thursday. So, yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see
My prediction for the World Series is St. Louis versus Houston. That's what I want to see. That's gonna be That's gonna be the most best 7-game series since the Cardinals faced the Rangers back in 2011.
Well,
Because
as much as I want to say Houston versus LA for a second time and have the Astros win. It's gonna be Tampa's going back. Tampa's gonna go back to the World Series, and they're gonna face San Francisco.
ooh,
I'm
that's a
sticking with
toughie right there.
I'm sticking with my Yankees Braves pick. I know it sounds silly, but I've went 5 straight years. Why not? What's one more gonna hurt? Or sorry, 4 straight years. What's one more season gonna hurt?
I'm
Which I'm
ride to
intrigued by the
die
White
with.
Sox. I'm very intrigued by these White Sox.
Well, the White Sox hasn't won a World Series since 2005.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
No, I know, but just to have La Russa back in there, well-respected manager.
La Russa is very respected. I respect the man. He did a lot of work here in St. Louis. But, 06 World Series, 2011 World Series. The man's got a criteria of knowing what he's doing.
Just don't let them drink. Just don't let them get behind the bottle.
Yeah, that is true. Don't let it get
Amen.
behind the bottle because it will not end
Or,
out too well. Uh,
or BG. Don't let BG do it either. I'm
eh,
just
be like a James Storms up in this mother, but it'll be all right. No, but yeah, that was the postseason update, the final updated playoff chart. We're gonna move right on,
All
and I
right.
know, Ralph, I know you probably got something for this.
Well, right now, I was gonna do a breaking news story, but it's with 3:10 left to play in the third quarter. Tampa Bay is leading New England 13-7, and they're playing. They playing each other hard in this. It's raining in Foxborough, but they playing each other hard. It's
yeah.
they going at each other. I mean, uh, they hitting each other hard. People getting injured. I mean, it's not like, oh, Tom Brady coming to town. Let's just lay down. No, they are like, this is one of those
Okay,
tied,
all right,
tied
Ralph.
ahead.
I'm gonna collab on that for a second. Do you think Belichick's gonna let his team lay down for Tom Brady? Right now, Belichick is the hated most person divorced wife for Tom Brady right now. The
Yeah,
divorced
I mean,
wife is hating Tom Brady, and he's showing Tom that we could do it without you.
Now,
And
one
that's
and
what
two
they're
he
doing
can do
right
it
now.
without. I mean, he can do it without time. It just gonna take time for his team to do it. I mean,
to re-
people just the fans in New England they just expect them to just pick up Belichick to pick up right where he left off with Brady. That's not gonna happen. He gonna have a down period. I mean, it just with Tampa they decided, well, we got Brady. We going all in. We going all in. And at first it didn't seem like it, but
again.
they ended up doing it. They won. They
So,
won with Brady.
so the question is, who is New England's quarterback? Because I know it's not Cam Newton anymore.
Uh,
It's
Mac
Mac Jones.
Mac
Jones
Jones.
out of
We
Okay.
got the rookie from Alabama.
yeah,
So
which
I
is
mean,
weird for me to say. I don't know. Mac Jones. I did not picture him going to New England. It's weird to look at, but I mean, he's
Well,
serviceable.
it all depends on if Belichick likes you. If Belichick sees something in you as a quarterback, of course you're going to come and take Cam Newton's spot. You know, uh, I
Cam's
th-
washed at
I
this
think
point.
somebody told me a while back that Kaepernick, he could come back to the NFL. I just don't see, you know, why New England wouldn't have picked him up. He might not
yeah,
have touched the ball
I
for the
think.
longest time, but he can make
I think that's
passes.
you got to worry about Russ now. I think he's way. I think it's
yeah.
past Cap's prime, unfortunately for him.
Well, no, I'll put it like this. No one. I mean, even if we with the way the NFL is today, there's no quarterback that's gonna catch Tom Brady as far as passing yardage, touchdowns, titles. Just
Well,
you know,
there could be one quarterback to do it, but it's probably going to take a while. Now, there ain't going to be a quarterback out here that's going to beat his 7 championship record. For
no,
6, Super Bowls with one team and going to another team to win the 7th, that's going to take a long time for another quarterback to do that.
I don't think it's ever happened.
I
I
mean,
got. Sorry, I was checking for.
well, I mean, this is the end of the third quarter. Tampa Bay leading, but New England's like at the 3 yard line.
Yeah.
It's like the intensity done picked up to the second half.
It was like the Green Bay game that I watched earlier. My Packers, man, they looked like they was gonna come up short, but the gunslinger come out with the the oh so sweetness and put them down. The
Pittsburgh.
score might not what I want it to been 27 to. I forget the score, but I know it was 27
17.
something.
27,
27-17. We're 3-1 now. Like
In a week,
Mr. Rogers himself said, it's only one loss of the season. There's 16 weeks left. Relax.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stars set pretty. Ralph, your squad's looking good. 4 touchdowns today. For Dak to Schultz. I don't know. Did Schultz grab up? I think 2.
I know Schultz had 2 last week. I don't think he got one. I don't know if he got one this week. I know Blake Jarwin got one.
He at least
Zeke ran in for one.
Cooper got one.
Cooper got one.
Yeah.
Cooper.
My BG just mentioned it. I think we're in a total rebuild offensively. Defensively, you guys are hot in Green Bay. I ain't gonna deny it. A 2 running back system, not defense, receivers galore, and Aaron Rodgers with one of the best offensive lines in football.
See, here's the thing: we got receivers galore, but we also got the secret weapon back, Randall Cobbs. He got to touch the ball today.
Yeah, he's in there. He got 2 touchdowns, I believe, today. I believe. Maybe. I might be wrong.
And then,
right now, it's exciting for football.
It is.
Dallas is coming out hot. Green Bay's coming out hot.
Carolina, their first day to Dallas. I'm a Carolina fan also, so I can do it.
Carolina doing good. The Texans, I saw that game today. That just no.
I thought it was forbidden to talk about them.
We may have to make that a thing after. I don't know. Tough luck.
Okay, well, enough about that. Mac Jones just threw a touchdown. And New England has tied the score pending the extra point at 13. I don't know who Mac threw it to as they showed the replay. Mac Jones going back to pass, and the guy was open. Oh, it was the tight end, Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith with the touchdown.
Smith, okay, there's some fantasy points.
Yeah. Anybody who got Jonnu Smith for a touchdown on their fantasy team starting, and they got some fantasy points. So there you go. And with the extra point, it is now New England 14, Tampa Bay 13, with 14-50, basically the whole quarter left. So.
Yeah.
Now, since we wasn't live last week, I do want to say one thing. We went to San Francisco. We redeemed ourselves in San Francisco. So now, moving forward, if we get a chance to face Tampa again,
BG Miro,
we need to redeem ourselves on that one.
The Redeemer, BG Miro.
Yeah, Miro.
The way
over.
Dax, right? The way Dax is playing right now, putting up the high points, and just the way that Detroit's playing,
they're already mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Well, okay. The Cowboys, they're doing good. The offenses, I'm, basically running on all cylinders. Zeke, he's playing it. He's playing and running like like the number 1 back he should be because of Pollard giving him a run for his money. The defense is not the best, but it's getting better. It's better than it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask is a slight improvement. I mean, they ain't gotta stop here. They ain't gotta sit here and stop everybody, put the clamps on everybody, but just improve bit by bit, improve game by game, and then then it'll be better. Buffalo today, yeah, the weather may have something to do with how they played, but I mean,
They
I'm looking at that game, I'm just like,
can I say the most surprising team to me through all this, other than the Raiders, but they're also in the AFC West, the Kansas City Chiefs. Where's that defense?
Wait, you're talking about a team that's 2-2 right now?
Yeah, I mean that's a surprise.
I mean, you're trying to figure out where Mahomes' balls are right now?
I'm trying to figure out where the defense.
no, we ain't talking about the offense.
Yeah,
And even if we are talking about the offense, it ain't Mahomes. It's Clyde Edwards Hilaire because he
yeah.
fumbles too
Okay,
damn much,
you're
and
right.
the defense.
Edwards has fumbled last week
Yes,
and the week prior.
yes.
Come on now.
I mean, who do you got
Hey, look,
defensively? I ain't.
those fumbles cost me fantasy wise. Those fumbles cost me.
That
I
hurts,
needed them.
man.
I
I'm
needed
telling.
them 2 points.
I went to sleep winning, and I woke up to a loss.
I don't even know. I'm
That's talking
so.
about fair play.
Yeah, you got Ralph beat me in fantasy last week.
Yeah,
he got
he
his
does that.
redemption, but I still got bragging rights until the end of the season.
The
Yeah,
Redeemer.
you got the championship. I can't. Like I said, yeah, I won. I won a game, but that wasn't the game I wanted to win. So,
Right.
Well, guys, real quick, do we have any AEW news or anything? I know you had mentioned some wrestling, but Shady, I know Shady ain't on tonight.
Shady is having some internet issues.
Yeah.
So did anybody catch Raw or SmackDown this week?
I caught
uh,
snippets of SmackDown.
no, I mean,
The
all I can
draft.
say about Raw and SmackDown is, of course, Big E is going to Raw, but
Yes.
the New Day is going to SmackDown.
Yeah, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
get that.
absolutely. New Day is gonna give the Usos a run for their money for the tag team championships again.
I wish they would leave them together with Big E as champ, but I mean that's armchair fantasy booking from my standpoint.
Yeah, rated RK Bro stays on Raw. Drew McIntyre's on SmackDown now.
Yeah.
What about
Charlotte Flair's on
Rollins?
SmackDown.
Is Rollins
Edge
on?
went to Raw. We don't know about Rollins yet, but
He's still
Hit
at Edge's
Row.
house.
Yeah, he's still at Edge's house. But Hit Row, it's on SmackDown now.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
They are starting the King of the Ring tournament, and they starting the Queen of the Ring tournament.
Yeah, that
I
starts
want,
Friday night?
yeah, I'm hoping for Xavier Woods to win the King of the Ring. I mean, hey, Kofi done had his time to shine.
Big E's
Big
got
E
his time right now
he got
shining.
his time right now. It's time for them to showcase Xavier. Hell, Xavier was the one who started the New Day. He started the ball rolling on it. He got Kofi. He got Kofi. He got Kofi. He got Big E. He the one that started the New Day thing. So it's about time for him to get some accolades besides tag team championship and blowing Francesco.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
know,
love their relationship, though. I really do. You could tell. You could see the friendship of the three guys and how much they love each other.
yeah. So you just can't. I mean, they've been together all this time. At least let Xavier get some accolade.
Even IC title run, something. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. For right now, like you said, King of the Ring. I'm so far behind on wrestling. I know I'm going.
So what Ralph said, if you didn't catch it, there, Savage Dog, starting Friday night, It's King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring
Queen.
tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard.
that's
I heard
what
it.
we're talking about. It's just that the finals of it is going to be at Crown Jewel, which I will not watch. I'm not watching Crown Jewel. I don't give a I don't give a damn about
I
Crown
haven't
Jewel.
watched it since they brought it to.
I watched one and wasn't
The
a
first
fan.
the first Saudi show was the only Saudi show I watched. I will not watch. I will not watch any other show in Saudi Arabia again. Uh, if they have a show in Australia, I'll wake up
Okay,
early
okay.
tomorrow.
On behalf of Ralph over here, nothing against Saudi Arabia. It's just we're not gonna watch the pay-per-view.
Yeah, we're not gonna go into details, but we already know why. Let's just put it this way: if Daniel Bryan and John Cena were still here, they wouldn't be going there either. So
Nope.
there you go.
Now, speaking of the American Dragon, he went head to head with Kenny Omega last Wednesday night, and it wasn't clinical. It was an instant classic. They went to the time limit. Nobody won.
Right, and that I can that's a draw I can live with no matter what. Because I mean, when you got sometimes when you have the best wrestlers in the world, sorry, CM Punk. When you had the two best wrestlers in the world going at it, I mean, I don't. If one wins, let it be not because of shenanigans outside the ring, not because of Don Callis and his bullshit, not because of Adam Cole, not because of the Good Brothers, not because of
I
that.
love.
Fuck Don Callis. Let it be because of their ability. Even if they gotta cheat, let them cheat. Let Kenny cheat to win, not a distraction. That
You're
time,
right, man.
I love it because it is going to set them up for that world title. Kenny
Oh,
Omega can run.
absolutely.
You can't hide from Brian Danielson.
Again, Monday morning quarterback. My only complaint, I would have liked to see Daniel got or Brian have got one win under his belt before that match or something like that,
Well,
But
see, here's the
no
thing.
complaints.
When
No complaints.
you show up on live TV, AEW, and
Mhm.
get in the ring where you got the whole elite and Adam Cole, baby, is trying to hype his speech about being the last person to complete the elite. And the American Dragon, Daniel Bryanson, comes out, gets in the ring with all them guys, and Kenny Omega, the number one ranked wrestler in the world,
PWI 500.
tells
Yep.
absolutely and tells the elite to clean the ring. Get out of the ring and let them two have the ring to talk. And then week after that, fight the the American Dragon, Daniel Bryanson, and put on a clinical and instant classic and go to a time limit. You're gonna tell me that you're disappointed in that match?
Oh no, I wasn't disappointed in the match. I would have liked to seen him say he beats
Daniel
Brandon
Bryan
Cutler.
took a lot of knees to the face.
No, I mean say give him Michael Nawazaka for his first. I don't know. That's just me. If I had to complain,
See, I'm
you
gonna
know.
quote Daniel Bryan Danielson right here. I am better than you, and he proved that.
Yeah.
He proved that he has Omega's number. But, like I'm agreeing with you, Ralph, that does set up a future AEW World Championship match.
Yeah,
And they need a no time limit on that match.
they do. They do need a little time limit.
I think that's inevitable. We'll see what happens. I just don't know who's going to be the guy to beat Omega. But that was a great match, instant classic, like everybody said. It was a good match. I am going to have to run, unfortunately, fellas. But It's been fun. We're going to do this every week for Jen. You know, there's more sports coming. Basketball's right around the corner. NBA first. I would love to talk Ben Simmons tonight. I'll save that for a week and see where his potential trade destination is if he gets traded. But they are holding $8.25 million from him, waiting on him to come, trying to force his hand to come to minicamp. So we'll see what happens there.
Man, nobody don't want Ben.
I don't know. Not even. I hate saying it, but
The Lakers don't want Ben.
Uncle Ben don't want Ben.
Aunt Jemima still want Ben. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to conclude. Sorry, the Skull Report for this week. If you just now tuning in, you can catch the replay after we end the show here. I want to say on the behalf of all of us and Ralph, as me and Ralph are the co-hostees now, to make sure the Skull Report is moving forward, to keep Jen's baby and future alive. I am BG Money, the Unchained Hooligan, Ralph Swagger, and this was the Skull Report.
Thank you for joining us at the Skull Report. Every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be square. Peace. We're out.